A New York postal worker is demanding the NYPD officers who falsely arrested him be disciplined. Here's a cell phone video of the arrest made on St. Patrick's Day. The video shows 27-year-old Glenn Graves. He was in the middle of his shift delivering mail and packages door to door when the plainclothes officers approached him. When he refused to stop delivering mail, you know, his job, things escalated. Graves was eventually cuffed and charged with disorderly conduct for delivering mail. The 3 officers and lieutenant involved remain on duty, but are now on general patrol pending the outcome of an investigation. Yo, what the hell? First of all, I thought when you interfere with somebody delivering mail, that's supposed to be a crime.
That's a federal offense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last I checked. I mean, is it me?
I mean, the thing, look, I'm going to say I'm glad no one was seriously hurt in this situation, as has happened many times before. But you would have thought, if watching that video, that someone would ask the question, who are you? Can I see some?
No, you don't have to. Shelly, roll the video again. Look at the man pants.
Right.
He got on postal worker clothes. Ain't no, Shelly, roll the video. Y'all, come on, roll the video. Ain't no regular brother wearing postal worker clothes. I mean, that's not the hippest fashion. Look at his pants. You see the stripe? You see, look at his hat.
Those are postal worker.
I'm just saying, you know.
Remember, this whole incident started due to a traffic altercation where he said something to the police officers in the car because they almost hit him. And then they back up, and because he said something to them, like you would if someone almost hit you in the car, they arrest him.
Well, again, look, they should be absolutely suspended. They shouldn't be walking the streets right now. All right, folks, this morning, Donald Trump is standing by his campaign manager charged with assaulting former Breitbart news reporter Michelle Fields. At first, Corey Lewandowski denied the accusations, calling Fields delusional, saying he never touched her. Well, guess what? This video surfaced of the incident of Lewandowski grabbing Fields after a news conference. The cameras also, these were Trump's cameras. That was pretty funny. He's been charged with battery or unwanted touching, which is a misdemeanor. Lewandowski's lawyers say he's innocent, and Donald Trump is defending him.
She was running up and grabbing and asking questions, and she wasn't supposed to be doing that. And I think I told him, I said, you should never settle this case. You should go all the way. I think they've really hurt a very good person.
Wow, this is the same Lewandowski who was shown yanking a protester by his collar. Also in 1999, Lewandowski, who was a congressional staffer at the time, was arrested after entering a congressional office building with a loaded weapon. He was later acquitted of any wrongdoing. Also, I think it's pretty funny that his lawyer was fired as a prosecutor for biting a stripper.
But also,
unbelievable.
now, you know, I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not a Trump supporter.
Right, you're a Republican, but you're not a Trump supporter.
Right. There was a report that came out, and I read last night, that the Secret Service had told Fields twice before Lewandowski intervened to back off and get away from Trump.
That's not the same.
All right, she is not a danger to Donald Trump, so let's get rid of that right now. Also,
she's
not Al-Qaeda.
The story the Trump campaign, the Trump campaign didn't put out a story that she was exaggerating or that there was more to the story.
They said she lied.
She was extreme. Her thing was entirely false. And Lewandowski said she was delusional.
And don't you find it interesting that a month later, all of a sudden, this Secret Service report from sources comes out. Lastly, if there was a problem with her, they should have handled it. Not the campaign manager. Bottom line is, Donald Trump, as I keep saying, y'all, wants to be thug in chief, and so this is a perfect example of what we're dealing with. A Michigan prosecutor charged with hiring prostitutes hundreds of times will resign this summer. Shocking. Stuart Dunnings, yes, a brother, the one on the right. Stuart Dunnings III says he will step down from his position on July 2nd. He is taking a medical leave of absence until then and will not run for re-election. Medical leave. A 63-year-old Democratic prosecutor is accused of meeting with prostitutes through websites. The state's attorney general says Dunnings met with one woman 3 to 4 times a week over 5 years. Prosecutors also say Dunnings agreed to help a domestic violence victim with her child custody dispute, but only if she had sex with him. His brother is also facing charges related to the case. Both men have pleaded guilty. A 20-year-old woman from Mississippi faces up to 20 years in prison for trying to go to Syria to join ISIS. Jaylyn Young pleaded guilty to terrorism charges on Tuesday. She's also pleaded guilty to providing material support to a terrorist organization. Young's fiance, Muhammad Dakhala, pleaded guilty to similar charges earlier this month and is awaiting sentencing. Prosecutors say Young was the leader of the plot. They say by the time she began dating her fiance, she was already interested in converting to Islam. According to court documents, the two were caught when they contacted an undercover FBI agent for help to join ISIS. Along with prison time, Young would have to pay $250,000 in fines and remain on probation for the rest of her life. Really? Okay. CVS stores are accused of purposely targeting Black and Hispanic shoppers. That's according to a lawsuit filed by a former employee. Sheldon Thomas says he was told to watch the Black and Hispanic folks inside a CVS in Brooklyn. Thomas says the same supervisor would often let white shoplifters go, but Black and Hispanic shoplifters were arrested. Thomas also says racial slurs were often used in the workplace. Two other former employees filed similar lawsuits earlier this week. Less than a year ago, 4 former employees sued CVS for discrimination. Three of the 4 are now looking to settle the case outside of court. All right, folks, you're more likely to see more security officers than counselors at most schools in major cities. Here's a snapshot of a report from 74, a nonprofit education news outlet. Researchers found in New York City there are 5 security officers and 3 counselors for every 1,000 students. Chicago has about 4 cops to every 2 counselors. Miami-Dade School District, 6 officers and 2 counselors. The American Civil Liberties Union says this is one more example of the school-to-prison pipeline, the series of policies and practices that push students, especially high-risk kids, from classrooms to the criminal justice system. The 74 organization says they are working with cities to ensure the safety and security of students. All right, folks, coming up, President Barack Obama pays a visit to Atlanta to address prescription drug and heroin abuse epidemic. You know, all of a sudden, white folks are dropping dead because of heroin, and now it's a national issue. It was Black folks, nobody pretty much said anything. So we'll talk about that. Also, soulful R&B group SWV spills the beans on their celebrity crushes during our recent conversation. Plus, comedians are here for Wild 'N Out Wednesday. I gotta love to hear what they gotta say about Donald Trump acting like a 5-year-old, according to Anderson Cooper. All of that right here on News 1 Now on TV1.